So this chit part, consciousness part, is what I call natural mind, no? Natural mind or the wisdom of the self. It will be used now onward also. It was used before also. It was used before to know what we are not, to know where we are caught up, to refine the sense of desire also. Like we have a sense of desire inside us. If we don't have a desire, we cannot move anywhere. Then when I invited all of you, just sit here, you will just simply sit here and rejoice. No? If you are not able to sit here nicely with me like this, that time, it was a test. That it means there is a desire in the soul inside. That desire is keeping us into a journey. Namaste, beloveds. Very, very welcome to all of you to this meeting. In Hindi, we have a saying that जहाँ आत्मा को विश्राम मिलता है वहाँ आत्मा ठहर जाती है. Wherever the soul finds rest or relax or peace, the soul will stay. Soul stays there. No, we say like this. Our soul is not finding rest or peace. No. That's why it's not staying. But right now, for example, where we are is a very peaceful place. It's a very restful place. Nobody is trying to tell us anything, teach us anything, or inviting us to learn something or look into something. No. You know? This is the field of being. You know, this is our home. And naturally, we can feel restful here. Naturally, we can feel restful here. We do feel restful here, naturally. All that is necessary here is to kind of value this more, value this place where we are, this restfulness more than anything else. That's all is required to come to that rest, that peace of the soul when the soul stays, where the soul stays, When you the soul stay, when you the soul stays by your own will, not by force. When you the soul stays like you are staying by your own will, because you are finding it joyful to just be here. Not for any other reason, not so that I will achieve something. Not that so that I can become something more or better. No, it's a direct and single reason only, that finding it very joyful to be here right now. Just finding it joyful to be here. Is it not a valid reason? Is it not a good enough reason to just be here like this? Without, getting into any sort of a process of doing something, trying to reach somewhere or trying to achieve something? No. Is it not a good enough reason? मेरो सुमिरन करें हरि, मैं पायो विश्राम. My Lord will take care of myself. I have found peace. I have found rest now. No, I have found rest now. The Lord will take care of me now. No, it is said like this. Mera sumiran kare hari, मैं पायो विश्राम. Lord will take care of me. I have found rest now. As we are staying here in this rest, we kind of get anchored into it more and more naturally for no other reason. Because this is the most beautiful state of ourself. Why we would not like to be in the most beautiful state? What can be more important than this? No? What can be more important than experiencing the deepest peace and rest in comparison? I think the only thing that that can be in the way that we have not become sensitive enough for it, no, in some way. Or maybe we are so restless at the moment that one of the most powerful offering maybe look too subtle or not so effective maybe also. I am not really sharing a guiding. It may work like a guiding, but I'm not sharing a guiding with you right now. I'm just peacefully, joyfully, restfully here. And somehow the inspiration is there to share, to talk. That's all that is happening here right now. This sharing has no direction. It is not asking you to do anything. It is not telling you to listen. But you can listen if you feel if you feel connection with it. If you can connect with it. The sharing is not asking anyone to do anything. But it is more like a feast. Like I have got something very, very beautiful. And I'm just offering, in a way, putting in front of you. You may eat, you may not eat. It's totally fine, no? We will not become enemies if you don't eat it, no? But if you eat, this feast will become more beautiful than before, no? If you join, no? If you join. This feast is already very, very beautiful. Perfect, excellent, already, perfect. It can become more than perfect if you join also. No? We know there's a term called no mind, no? It's a kind of very potent term because it is like can be understood from two sides. One from the side of the soul, being that we are, and one from the side of the mind or ego in which we live. Normally when understood, no mind is the state where I am not in the mind. But more in here we have a sense that I want to escape from the mind. I want to go away somewhere. I am tired. I am troubled by the mind space, and I want to be in a more peaceful space than mind space. So that no mind will be that peaceful space. So this is how we understand generally from the side of mind or ego. No? But when you look from the side of the being, where we are right now, no mind is the state where you are not interested in mind. That's your no mind state. It's as simple as this. Whether mind is there or not, it is not there for you. Effectively, you don't have any mind, no? You know? So you are in your no mind state now, no? Now that alignment may take time when we will be using the mind and remaining in the no mind state, meaning in the true state of our being. No. So that may take some time. But actually you are right now in your no mind state. Because mind is not something in itself there. Either it is there collectively and also it is there individually, in all of us. How much mind is there in you right now? If you are living in your rest, in your peace, and only attending your rest, your peace, your being, then there is no mind in you right now, no? Because mind is in the attending of it, not that it is there really. But because we have been attending it for so long, a circle of energy has got created, and that's why we will feel that thoughts and feelings and emotions are still rotating inside me. So how can you say, Rajee, that there is no mind? Beloved, you have actually become free from mind now. But you may choose to go back in the previous model. That's a separate story. That's your choice, no? That's your freedom. Your freedom is to live free in the being or get back into the ego state. This is your freedom, beloved. Let us not blame the mind for it. You know? If any one of you want to save your ego, meaning to remain in the ego state after this sharing or like this, that is happening anyway. So the very desire that I want to save my ego is part of living in the ego anyway. No? Like it's part of the package basically. No? So ego is safe in that case. But if you have desire to dissolve the ego or to become free, dissolve the ego means to become free from it into your natural state, then let us care about right ourselves, not about ego. The more we can relax right now into our natural state, the more we have let go of the ego. That let go of the ego has happened. You know? Because it is not that the ego is holding on to you, or on to us, no? We are holding on to ego. So ego is ready to go away from our system as soon as we let go of it. And this can be a very simple test right now. In this rest, in this peace, in this joy, in this truth of our being. No? Joy of the being, I use the word joy or the joy of the being, is the most attractive word or concept for ego. And it is the most attractive word or concept for the being also that we are. For the ego, it is attractive because in ego state, we the being is not able to experience joy. We are just keep trying continuously. For the being, it is most attractive because this is our nature. In the ease of the being, when the being is easy, relaxed in yourself, the joy is experienced. When you are not going anywhere, when you are not going anywhere, when you are not doing anything, this is the ease of the being. The being is in the ease of yourself, like at home, just relaxing, just sitting, not going anywhere, not doing anything, not trying to achieve anything also. Joy is here, and our nature is joy. Our nature is felt more like at ease, at peace, at home, than joy in the beginning. What we are feeling right now. But as soon as we relax enough here for even few seconds, this ease, this joy, this peace starts, kind of, how to say, like exploding a little bit. Small explosions start happening here of the joy, of the bliss actually. Don't chase those explosions yet. Stay with me here. You will be able to enjoy this firework, fireworks of the joy, of the bliss. Let us stay here for some more time. There are so many ways through which we learn to do things, to get, attached to a desire. Desire means a journey, journey like a starting point, and then doing the things and trying to reach to the goal of it, and so on. Always in the go, always in the journey. So many ways. Collectively, we all are doing like this. But in small groups where we are also learning back. Learning our way back home. Way back home is learning to just relax in yourself, because our self is home, the sense that I am home, the ease, the joy, the peace, and ultimately the truth. Also, truth is something very natural, but also most powerful. Once revealed in our being that I am truth, we are not only free from this life only, we are free from all the lives which have happened and all the life which may happen because of our desires. We have just become free from the wheel of birth and death. जन्म और मृत्यु के चक्र से मुक्त हो गए. ये है मोक्ष, liberation, to become free from the wheel of birth and death. And let us not think that birth is like one age of this body is one birth. No. Every day, within one day even. Every day is one birth and one death after that, no? Every day. I hope all of you are enjoying being with me in this feast. No? I don't think we need to have a region to be joyful. No, we can be joyful just because we are joyful right now. We can be peaceful deeply contented. This is contentment. When you yourself, beloved, meeting yourself, this is contentment. This is bliss, mahasukh. This is greater happiness, greatest happiness. Mahasukh means greatest happiness. When you yourself meeting yourself, and literally so, not like thinking about it. Where we are right now is the meeting of yourself with yourself. You are meeting yourself beyond thinking, feeling, experiencing. What you are experiencing right now is the only outcome as far as mind is concerned, or mind can understand. You are not going to get anything else, so don't expect any other thing. But as far as you, the being, is concerned, you want only this, you don't want anything else. You have been searching for this only in different ways. And if you have got this, now you are like a conqueror already. You are like a winner already in this world. Now the events of life and flow of life will just simply not matter so much. Like it's okay. Like it will become so light already. Because you have won over your own self now. You have won over your own self now. Because you can be defeated only by yourself, not by anybody else. And you can be victorious by yourself only, not by anybody else also. You know? Just in the end, I want to live something which we used to live in Osho meditations, no? We are the truth, but we are living like our own shadow. We are living as our own shadow. We are truth. We are the being. We are living as our own shadow. When we are living as our own shadow, in the state of mind and as a character, then our own being, our own self looks like something behind me, as if something is behind me, something is deeper than me. Looks like this. Allow yourself to relax in this something which is behind you, if you are still living as the shadow of your own self. In this moment, where we are relaxing is the truth, not the shadow. The light in this place where you are is so even that no shadow is created here. You will not find any shadows here in the place of being. But as soon as you will come in the light of consciousness, body, mind, no? Then the shadow will be created again. It always is created as soon as you come back in the body, mind. Just don't forget yourself. Now you know that I am the truth, and this is my shadow. Don't be confused by the shadow. No? Don't try to remove the shadow also. Because this is a mistake we are making, trying to remove the shadow. Shadow is not ego. You not living in your truth is ego. Now you are living in your truth. No ego. Your eyes will become clean, clear. You will be able to see the shadow as the shadow, yourself as yourself. No? And there is something beyond it. But I will not share that. You will not know yourself. You will experience that yourself. There is something where the shadow and the real meets and becomes one. completely. That day you will become free from yourself also, into the universal being, no, into the universal being. The drop will become the ocean. Then all of the shadows of this world will be your shadows. All of the individual self will be your own self. All the beings will be your own being. But you have to experience, you will experience this yourself. Thank you for joining me in this beautiful sitting together, no? Thank you, beloved. Your joining has contributed very beautifully. Thank you. I very much enjoyed your company. One example, is coming right now, that let's say we are working in life and everything like this, and we are in our normal state, and we don't realize that how restless that normal state is. you know. Then let's say you come to some swimming pool. You are spending swimming time in the swimming pool for a long time, and you became calm, like very calm, and you don't realize again that you have become calm. Then you come out of it. Then you realize, ah, how calm I have become. This is not the time to quickly get back to that old normal state. This is the time to just relax in this middle state, where we are not so much into into that swimming pool, but also not so much out of it. You know? Let us allow ourselves to be little slow here, while we continue enjoying. Our wisdom of the mind, of the consciousness will also get updated here. The appreciation for this beauty, who we are, what we are, will be registered well. Allow your mind to register the beautiful place in which you have been and you are even now. Don't be in a hurry to come back to questions and journey and, because if there is a question, there is going to be an answer of it. We will find that. If there is a desire to do something, we will find a how to about it. Always it is possible. But this is a place beyond all of it. This, where we are, is beyond questions, beyond answers, beyond journey. Very, very nice. Anybody can talk to me if you want. You can share anything or like this. It's a very peaceful place, but still, I will be very happy to hear anyone.
I feel I want to do a mic test. In a way,
how nice.
In a way, speaking from here.
Yeah, I speak more a little bit. Because we can use the words mic test. We can speak the words mic test when we are doing a mic test, right? In the same way, say whatever is related to it while you are actually doing the mic test, no? From your being, no? From the peacefulness of your being. No? Yes?
Yes, checking if my volume is in par, if the gain level is right.
But who will decide that gain level is at par or not? Your peacefulness, no? Or not? It is you who will decide or not that how loud or how low you will speak or sound. You want to sound today, no? Right now, or not?
Yes, and it feels more like an appropriateness in the gain level.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No?
Huh.
So that appropriateness is decided by you, no, or not, or the gain level will decide that whether it is appropriate or not. You will decide how. You are deciding by checking that I want to remain in the peacefulness of myself while I am speaking. Yes. So continue your test.
Yes, it's working. It can be done. It's not either or. Like this.
Yes, yes. So it's very good. But let us not make it like a rule that even if I'm most peaceful, then I should test whether I can speak or not. You know, whether you can speak or not depends on you really, not how peaceful you are right now. You know, you know what I mean, or not.
Yes, I.
One more question I have: that who is speaking right now? Is it the peacefulness speaking and testing, or who is speaking? Who is testing this? The mic test of the being, no?
I test this.
I means you. Who are you? Who is the peaceful? Who is experiencing peacefulness, or like just have a look.
It looks like that this peacefulness, this mic test, and everything is in me. Like it's and it's. It not so much that it describes me, it's more I describe it in who is the most
Yes.
the more real one.
Yes. So you are experiencing peacefulness. No, you are experiencing peacefulness. We were sitting and we were enjoying the peacefulness. which was coming from your own being. No? It was your own experience. You were experiencing yourself. That was the peacefulness, joyfulness. No? So this is the first taste of truth, actually, the joy. Is the first taste of truth. No? Beyond that is what you are saying, that actually I am primary. Because I am truth. I am true. I can affect things, not that things can affect me. I can affect my speaking, not that my speaking can affect myself. I can affect my thinking, my feeling or state, not that it can affect myself. Yes? This is what you are saying?
Yes, exactly.
So once you are able to become clear more and more like this, then the joy, this feast, this party can be any time you want. And if it can be any time you want, why it will not be always? It could be only when you are too lost, like, too silent in a way, let's say, like too consumed in the truth. Let us try to live for one moment here. This is statement Sat Chit Anand. It is very refined expression, pointer towards who we are in the experience, how we experience it. No? Sat means the truth, that I am truth. No? Meaning I am being means I am truth. No? Anand is the bliss that we experienced when we were sitting together, and we are experiencing that now also. No? Like the Anand or the bliss is the bliss of being. Bliss of being, like bliss of being, not that coming from the being, but bliss of being means that the bliss that I am. Bliss of being who we are. This is what is bliss also. Like as soon as we experience the truth that I exist, we cannot avoid experiencing the bliss. We cannot avoid experiencing the bliss. Consciousness is what is happening right now. This refinement that we are looking, this consciousness is refining itself. That I am the truth and I am conscious that I am truth. I am conscious that my nature is bliss. This is consciousness, chit part of Sat Chit Anand. No? Naturally, meaning there is a natural consciousness in myself, in the self, in the truth that I am, that you are, no? Using this natural consciousness now. So not borrowing anything from anywhere. Not going out of yourself also, in anything, in any other state, remaining in the pure state of your being. All three are present here. No? The consciousness or the awareness of awareness that I am truth, the awareness that I am blissful, meaning I am naturally blissful. When I am in the deepest, most subtle or most relaxed state, restful state of my being, then this joy, this bliss is at the maximum. When I'm in my natural state, the joy, the bliss is at the peak. Like so condensed, like almost tangible. No? If I were to say of myself, even somebody sensitive sitting next to me can feel it. And I'm aware of it. So this chit part is like this. I hope you can connect more now. So this chit part, consciousness part, is what I call natural mind. Natural mind or the wisdom of the self. It will be used now onward also. It was used before also. It was used before to know what we are not, to know where we are caught up, to refine the sense of desire also. Like we have a sense of desire inside us. If we don't have a desire, we cannot move anywhere. Then when I invited all of you, just sit here, you will just simply sit here and rejoice. No? If you are not able to sit here nicely with me like this, that time it was a test. That it means there is a desire in the soul inside. That desire is keeping us into a journey. The desire is blind, meaning not clearly refined yet, has not been brought into the pure light of the consciousness, and so will be the journey or destination where we will go through that desire. So that's what it means to be lost. Lost is not some place where we get lost. We get lost in our own unconscious desires or desires one after another. Now we will refine that. This same consciousness in the beginning will refine. What do I really want in my life? Why I am moving anywhere and everywhere? Why I am doing anything and everything? Why I have any preference and every preference? No? This is the first part is that the same consciousness will refine the desire in the base, the root from where the restlessness comes to move, to do something. The same consciousness now will be used to know the truth, that I am the truth, I am the being. And once this consciousness has touched the truth, this consciousness becomes blessed by that, the truth that we are. You know, this truth is more like truth and bliss. In some sense, consciousness can be entirely eliminated or kind of put aside in a way. Not that it is inseparable, but just for the discussion. No? If consciousness is completely ignored, then the truth, the Sat and Anand, you are the truth, and blissfully so. You are not conscious of the fact that you are truth. Yes? I am saying something different right now. I don't know if any who can understand and who cannot. Okay, but I'll just, the feeling has come, so I'm just sharing. Okay. So you are the truth, Sat and Anand, bliss. You are blissfully truth, but not Chit, not conscious. Do you need to be conscious? Then only you will become truth and blissful. No. Without being conscious, you are blissful and truth. Then why you need to be conscious? Because you have already become conscious. Meaning you have already got into, you have got identified with your consciousness aspect. You are taking yourself to be as consciousness. That's why. Identification means you, the truth, has become one with your consciousness aspect, and you are taking yourself to be that, not scrutinizing, not looking that who I am, who is conscious of anything. No. That's why now you as consciousness has to know the truth, that I am truth. Then you the truth will become free from the identification with the consciousness, and now you will know that I have consciousness, not that I am consciousness. I have consciousness. Consciousness is my aspect, my part of who I am. But even if there is no consciousness, even if there is no bliss, still I am truth. The consciousness and bliss comes out of the truth that I am. Not that the truth comes out of consciousness and the bliss. The source is truth, not consciousness or bliss. You know, this is what you said, that I am truth. I am affecting everything, not that anything is affecting myself. Thank you. Very nice opportunity created by all of you. Thank you, beloved. So the identification of you, the self, with the consciousness is putting the condition that if I am not conscious of something, then I don't have it or I don't know it. I don't know if it exists or not. No? Do you see? Because of identification. So identification is something much deeper, much subtler. It is not with the body. It is with all the bodies. And it is with that consciousness which is also living through these bodies. All of that together, this consciousness, whole of the consciousness, identification is with that. No? That's why consciousness part has a lot of potential. Contemplation, looking like what I am conscious of and who I am, who is conscious of. All these efforts are so potent. But mostly we remain identified as consciousness. Identified as consciousness means that I am a seer. So the refinement in the seeing more happens towards the things that we are conscious of. We become more clear about what they are and what they are not. But we do not become clear about who we are, who is seeing them. Anything and everything that is seen in the light of consciousness is made of the light of consciousness also. So in reality there are no forms which exist separate from consciousness. And you are not a form. You are the formless truth, beyond consciousness, beyond forms. And you are that right now. Any one of you can connect to what I am sharing. You can just thank God, thank life for it. You are blessed that you can connect to this direct truth. You must have done a lot of sadhana and lot of effort, and since you must be you must have been very sincere all along. That you have come here now. You cannot remove consciousness, chit. You cannot remove bliss, even if you are truth. Don't make this mistake of trying not to be conscious. You cannot do that. You can just be clear that the consciousness, what it is in relation to who I am. You are that which knows consciousness, that's what I mean. Not that consciousness knows you. Consciousness cannot know you. You can only be conscious in the beginning, when the identification is there with the consciousness that I am truth. And that is the last time you will use consciousness in relation to yourself. After that, you don't need to use consciousness for yourself. You are beyond consciousness. Now it will be kind of a self-wonder happening within itself. And it is so amazing. And from here you will know everything so naturally, because everything is consciousness. Once you know consciousness, you know everything of the consciousness. Maybe not item-wise, but in nature you know. You know the basics of everything everything which is a form. You know the basics of everything now. No? I hope that I'm not going too deep or too kind of subtle or something. I don't know what to say. But is it fine to continue like this? Online friends, is it fine to like this? Thank you. Yeah? Thank you, beloved. Because this is not really a discussion. It is just a sharing for those souls which want to hear it now. Meaning which want to live right now, this truth. No? It's just a sharing. It is this is something like a thirst and a rain. It's like this, as simple as this. The soil is thirsty and it calls, and the rain is the answer. This is all that is. It's not a teaching or anything. No, there is nobody else here except this one truth, which is which is which is pouring like rain and which is drinking like thirsty soul. No, this is same truth. Is pouring like rain, and it is the same truth which is drinking like a thirsty soul. And in this drinking of truth, that division, that confusion will be removed. The soul, as it will drink more truth, will become clear that I am truth. Nothing can be added to the truth that you are. Nothing can be removed from the truth that you are. If it is true, and it is true, then how you will expect that the self-knowledge will be added to you? No, self-knowledge is not added to you. False self-knowledge is removed from the consciousness only. That's what happens. When the consciousness is empty, it becomes like a mirror in which you, the unborn, can see your face and smile. What the hell is this? I feel this is the origin of the concept of selfie. Selfie. The self looking at the stillness of consciousness. No? Very nice, beloved. Thank you. It's a very beautiful place where we are. Like I clearly feel all of us are so nicely together. No? I will just keep telling you some stories. I remember we were in Delhi, and one of our friend visited there, and like he was from Delhi only, and he had some friend coming from outside of Delhi. Me and my friend, we went for shopping for vegetable and everything, so that we can have a nice meal and something. But we met some friend and we forgot, and then we got very late there and so on. By the time we came, it was very late and everybody was so hungry. So meal was cooked, but everybody was so, and they were like formal guests. Some of them were formal guests. So, but we were all were so hungry that we made only one vegetable pulao, no? Like, I don't know how to say pulao, I think, if you understand. Rice and vegetables and everything together, and put it in a big, plate. There were like 6 or 8 people or something together. And we put some spoon on the one side, and by the time, I think Manu was there, no? By the time Manu went to the kitchen to bring the plates, everybody already started from the big plate. And so silent, like nobody was even looking at that nobody was even caring to look at, at that feeling of embarrassment or something, that, hey, we are eating from the same plate. All of us, because the thirst, the hunger was so strong that time. There was a kid also. And only after we became half full, then our eyes opened up like, wow, that was a lot of hunger. Like we were saying like, oh, that's nice. Hey, anybody need plate? Everybody said, no, we don't need plate. Do you see how direct things are? We are unnecessarily shopping for plates. When when the Lord is serving the food to us, that's not the time for going anywhere else for shopping, even for the plate. Use your hands. You know, use your hands. That is what is no. Oh Lord, give me. Because I don't want to go anywhere, because in case the moment I say and you give me, I don't want to go for shopping a plate for a plate. No, like this. Just sharing from my heart. I'm sure it will have different meaning for different beings. It doesn't have any meaning. It has a taste, some taste which I'm trying to share with you. It doesn't have any meaning. So very nice. Anybody please talk to me. Yeah. Uma?
Namaste ji. Actually, it is happening like this. Not caring about plates, just eating with the main tray. Thank you very much. Very, very delicious and sweetest. It is very like this.
We think, Uma, that the world is full of persons or like this. It's not that kind of thing, really. In reality, there are two basic energy fields, or you can say uh, way of living. No, one is the way of the being. No, one is the other way in which many things happen, including the sense that there are many persons there, and I am also one person among them. So it is the effect of that field. Not that it is a reality there, but we will live it as a reality that time when we will be living in that field of energy or that type of energy. So the difficult task in relation to satsang, no, is not what to ask, what to not ask. The difficulty is to enter into satsang. Because we have to leave that energy field of the person to enter here. No? That is our whole life. Everything is there, no? And nothing is here. Literally, sometimes it looks like, oh, there is nothing, like emptiness or something. No? The being that we are is almost like complaining sometimes that then I'm like a nothing. So it means I'm like a nothing here if I just sit and do nothing. However, it is its own truth, which it will rejoice one day, like you all are rejoicing, no? But in the beginning it complains, because it is not finding itself to be a person or individual, no? And it is not finding others also to be individuals. Like it's just like one thing happening, you know? So getting out of mind is little bit like getting out of addiction to that energy field, which is like we have friends also who are enjoying that energy field. Like we meet every day, we have some few drinks from that pond, and now we are not going. Let's say you are not going there anymore because you are trying to transcend your addiction. They will come, they will call, they will drag. No, 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 come with us. Just sit, don't drink even, just sit with us. No, like this. Like they are trying to pull you back. No? So being free from the addiction to ego is not a small thing really. We need a support group for that. Support group not in the sense of discussion or something, maybe that may happen, but support group in the sense of satsang, for example. That is the support group for trying to be free from the addiction for ego. A way, it's a certain way of living, no? Not about what is there in that life that we live. It's a certain way of living, no? And the way of the being is also very different in comparison, no? Because in the way of the being, search for joy, seeking for happiness is already off the table. It's not there anymore. And because it is not there anymore, like all of the personal, desires and seekings and ambitions and all of them also gone out of the table because of that. Because all the personal desires are connected to seeking for happiness, joy. You're just sitting nicely, in your in your robe or something, and at home. Let's see what to do now. Like I'm already very, very supremely joyful. Now let's see what more I can, how I can enjoy more than that. No, it's about that now. It's not about something is missing and we are searching for that anymore. No. Are we not doing continuously everything because of the sense of lack? And why we should be surprised when we have removed, let's say, the sense of lack, or we find ourselves in our being, in the bliss, in the joy, where there is no sense of lack. That time, we don't feel like going anywhere or doing anything for a moment, for some time maybe. We should not be surprised because we were doing everything just to remove this sense of lack, no? Now we have come to the place, supreme joy, peace, happiness. We would like to live that rather than, again going somewhere. And there is no somewhere anymore, But this is where we wanted to be. And this is where we are already. So thank you, Mama. Just sharing came out like this.
It is so relaxing that we don't have to go anywhere. Now it is becoming very, very relaxing to me.
Yeah. But you can still uh, have entertainment through flying kites. You can fly kites and entertain yourself. That's what the self does after knowing that I cannot move. No? But don't get identified. That's the key, no? Don't get identified, no?
You said during the guiding, I can say, living today, you
yes,
said that when you open the eyes and when you will come in the body, you will find the shadow again. I want to check something because I felt interested to see how shadow will come again that time. It was like a false uh, false shape inside me. I found like this. एक
then,
भ्रम था, जैसे मैं एक शेप लेने का भ्रम पैदा हो गया था.
oh,
It
yes,
was
yes.
and I was watching this also. I was aware about this also.
Yeah.
It is shadow or something else.
Something else also. That could be maybe the core of the shadow, but right now, how are you?
Right.
Are you the formless or are you the form? Because there is a form. The form is of consciousness, not of the body. Body is body form or like this. No, body is part of the form called consciousness. So if the form is the form and you are the formless, no shadow. No?
Yes.
Meaning when if the clarity is full, then there is no shadow. No? In that way, I can say. Shadow basically means that in a more subtler sense, now we can say that the shadow is that this body mind consciousness will carry your signature. It will feel like I am this. So this is the shadow being created. No? And it will continuously feel like this. Not that for one moment. Continuously it will be felt like this body mind, I am this. Not that I am this only, but I am this also. You know? Now, when you have discovered yourself, it will feel like I am this also. But how you can be two? That's where you will need to know the shadow as the shadow and yourself as yourself continuously every day. As long as we live in the body. That's what the great beings say now, that as long as you live in this body, remain vigilant. That's what it means. One of the meaning I would draw out of that statement is this. So there is a shadow, but when we are afraid of the shadow, or when we are unaware of the shadow, two states. No? One state is when we don't even know that what is shadow and what is myself. Now that you know what is myself and what is shadow, now there is a possibility of being afraid of it, that shadow should not happen. No, it is going to happen. That cannot be changed. The only thing that can be changed is that we become clear. We open our eyes and we become comfortable with the truth. That shadow is there. And we know more deeply and clearly what is shadow. In that you will rejoice and will become more free. No? Like free beyond the sense that I'll get caught up in it. No? Like if you walking, let's say, like literally, because I saw one video when a 3-year-old girl, no, she was walking, first time I think, and shadow happened, and she got afraid of the shadow, and she was trying to run away from it. And wherever she was running, the shadow was coming also. Finally, she started crying, and the mother had to come and take her in some shade or somewhere. No? So as long as there is a consciousness, Uma, shadow will be there. Beyond consciousness, there is no shadow inside. Be more comfortable about it, like relaxed, and that's what I mean. That open your eyes also, and see things as they are. Meaning, see the shadow being created.
Gee, I understood it like shadow is a functioning in the world for the life. It is a function.
Actually, it is a functioning, but shadow is not that part. Like depends on from what angle we are looking, in what context. But when we are looking right now, I would like to even say that functioning is functioning. So doing is functioning. Doing of anything is functioning. Okay. Doer is the shadow. The sense of doer is the shadow, which happens always. And not always. Okay. There is a possibility that we can refine our doing up to the level that the sense of doer does not happen when we do things. No? Then that sense of doer will not happen. But when the sense of doer does not happen, then the sense of being happens. Sense of being, the presence, sense of being happens while doing also. So when the sense of being happens, that is kind of, I feel, very pure. No? Because sense of being and relaxing in yourself beyond it is very like one thing in a way. No? So I feel that this sense of doer is mm, what is also what we can define as shadow also. But ultimately, know the shadow as the shadow. No? Like slowly we will know these things. Let's not define all of it right now because we cannot define it like this. We will have to know it ourselves. You know. So now you say something back to me, then we will talk again.
Gee, this I understood that doing is functioning and doer, when doer comes in between, this is shadow. This I noticed. That time I noticed that it appears. I don't know. Did not know it is a doer or something. Means not the label. I did not. Uh, uh, I did not. Undefine that time the label of it, but it was like this. It was the false something.
I mean, what you caught in the subtle form, as I said in the beginning, the sense of a form, something like this you said, no? So that is the core of it. Like the form is created inside you, that is shadow. No? Form is like the same consciousness. Let's say whole of the consciousness, no, body mind together, all of the consciousness, this whole of the consciousness is like water, let's say, okay. Now if it has to create momentum, how it will do? It has to freeze part of itself and pull itself, like it needs some ground, to pull and push. That ground is that sense of doer or sense of a form. Not a doer, but a form. Like, okay, I'm doing it, like this. And the more pure the energy, the less or subtler sense of the ego will, the doer will happen. When the energies are very pure, very balanced, the sense of doer cannot happen in it. Only there will be a sense of doing, like more intensely doing, but still there will be no sense of doer here. This is the relevance of balancing of the energies. No? But does not mean that when energies are not balanced, when the sense of doer is happening very strongly, that you can get caught up. No, wake up a little more in the same proportion. If you don't want to balance your energies or you cannot, let's say, you don't know how to, then wake up a little more in the same proportion to remain free from it. No? So not forgetting who we are is the key here when we are doing anything in the daily life, no? Not forgetting means experientially living who we are while doing things, no? Is the safeguard in a way, no? Because shadow is not a problem. Shadow happening is not a problem. We get identified with it. That is the problem. That I am that shadow. This is the problem. Which can be safeguarded by remembering who we are while doing the things in life. No? Then we will remember that I am this truth. Then the feeling that identification that I am the shadow will not happen, obviously. Do you see what I mean? This is what we tested a little bit in the form of mic test. When Miriam said, like, I want to do mic test, meaning without stopping living of the truth of myself, I want to do something and see what happens. No? Yes. to see what happens. When we are not forgetting, when we are continuously living ourselves and doing things, that time that shadow is not noticed by us also, because it is not important anymore. So that shadow part is important when we are not living in ourselves. That's what I mean, that it all will become one thing at some point. Just imagine that you are somebody dancing on the floor nicely. You know that you are dancing, right? While you are dancing, you are juggling some balls also, da, 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 like this, very high also, da, 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 like this. No. And then at some point in the split of a second, let's say you decide, you feel, I don't want to dance or move or do anything anymore. You will stop or not? But the balls which you have thrown in the air will not just freeze there. They will still go high. If there is a force left, they will fall back also when the force finishes. So the momentum will still be there in them. For a being who is realized, will feel like this. That as long as it feel like playing, moving in this world, it will continue, and then it will stop. And then the remaining energy of the body, mind, the momentum will live and will all the balls, all the energy, the body, mind, they will fall. No? Yeah, like this. So I hope it is good. Thank you.
Yes, very good. It is clear. Like false wall. False walls
Not
to the
false.
move.
No. Not false balls. Balls means momentum.
नहीं, not balls. दीवारें जैसे.
हाँ, false.
False
False.
दीवारें to the when momentum is created, then false walls is created also, and it must
False is, we
disappear.
can say only false is created in a way. False is
False,
created. False
yes.
is created when we are not living the truth. When we are living the truth, false is not created. No? Like this. Mind will still register that I am somebody who did this. That's why we are able to talk normally, no? To other persons. No? Yes, or are you saying something else?
No, Ji, I am saying this day. When you gave the example, when water needs to get momentum, then how it will
Ah,
get
you mean like this?
that time.
Okay.
That time the false wall created, and when water goes out and it disappears, it must disappear. Like
Actually,
doer must not be there.
even to say that wall is created is not true. No. It's like this. You are doing like this. You are moving, and whole of the body mind is you. Let's say, where is the wall? It's just you, no. Be more flexible, because if you are not flexible, some cramp will happen. No, if you bend too much, that cramp maybe you are calling that. Oh, there is a sense of doer left in me after the doing. No, nothing should left in you after the doing. No, only you and the body mind and their functioning. But as far as the self is concerned, there should not be any other self in you except the momentum. No, so momentum of energy, consciousness, and you, all is perfect. No, but that does not happen normally. That's what I am trying to emphasize. After every doing, as if there is some sense of self left inside us. Who did this? While you are the spaciousness of your being in which it happens, and we forget that I am the spaciousness of my being, and then we get identified with that residue. That's what I'm talking about. Are we on the same page about it or not?
Gee, yes, you are true. This is actually I was not able to saying correctly, but you said it correctly.
So,
What I went.
so let us learn the discipline, or how to say the benefits of totality. Totality is not how fast we are doing some work or how much we are doing in one go. Totality means how much of myself is doing it. The more of myself doing it, the less of myself will be there to be identified, or less of residue is there also. Because residue is created by the non-participating self that we are. You know, the residue which forms the sense of doer after the doing is created by the non-participating self that we are. If whole of myself is participating in what I am doing, there is no possibility of a sense of doer happening after that. And there is no self left to notice that also, that whether there is a sense of doer left. You are so involved in the doing. You are so consumed in the doing, no? That you know there is just doing, meaning the energies and myself. You know, you are running. Let's say you are running. No, moderate. No, not very fast. Maybe you are just running. 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers. Let's say you are able to run. When you were running, are you a doer? I was, because I was running. When you stop, are you a doer? No, I'm not moving now. You know, because no energy left which can create this kind of confusion or like this. You were fully involved. Energies were consumed. All is fine, nicely balanced. You know? Understand incompletion versus totality. Incompletion is what forms many things, including the sense of doer, sense of the false self also. So it is the incompletion which is searching for something, that what to do now. The doing energy, no? Incompletion means the doing energy is there, has not been expressed. I hope that there is enough for on this topic. Thank you.
Yes, and very good, Ji. Very nice. You shared this.
Yeah, these are more
Thank you.
abstract sharings. As we will practice them or check them in our life, we will find them to be true actually. Yeah, Nishant?
Namaste, Philomen. It's just a short sharing related to what you're talking about. It's like a clarity that the difficulty in discovering the truth is not that the wrong tools are being used. It is that we are using tools.
It sounds very beautiful to me, but please explain a little more.
Yeah. Just the simple thing that we keep trying to slice it and dice it, trying to discover the truth, to define it. But what we need to do is live it.
Yes. But why we define?
More from habit, because that's what we've been used to continuously trying to.
No, not really. We are not in the habit of defining. We are in the habit of living as who we are not. And from there, many things come out. Like this should be understood and lived deeply right now. Let us try. That not living as who we are, not living the true self, our own true nature, introduces many things which just don't exist anywhere really, except in the living of it. So this is what is Nishant, the dream in which we the self live. Those things exist only in the living of it. They don't exist anywhere really independently. But many beings live in that way, that our language matches and we have common language, that, oh yes, this happens to me also, this happened to me also, so on. But in reality, it doesn't exist anywhere except in the living of it. What is the definition of dream? The dream exists only in the living of it. When we don't live the dream, it doesn't exist. Or everything that was there also does not exist when we are not living the dream. The same thing is about this. So not living our true self, true nature, introduces the dream. First of all, the dream of being somebody. I am a separate self. That is the first beginning of that. From where many things come out. Now, no? Because need to define is need to divide. So need to define comes from the need to divide. If I don't have to divide, I don't have to define. You know? Like me and you are walking, and we have on the beach. We come to a restaurant. We have chai. Then we walk more. Then let's say, hey, let's have fruits. Then we have fruit salad. Sometime I paid, sometime you paid. Then we say, hey, finally let's have dinner. We had dinner, and afterward, green tea and everything. Sometime you paid, sometime I paid. Like sometime you paid even to the tip, and then I paid the main bill or whatever. If we don't have need to divide the bill, we don't have to define what, who spent what, and so on. Do you see? If it is all like one, is fine. Like let's say if it is coming from the same pocket, even if it is in my pocket or your pocket, let's say, no. Like some people do. My father also used to do. Like they go out with the friends and they already have one wallet separately, where everybody will contribute. Let's say 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, whatever in the beginning, and then money will be spent from there without anybody really, bothered that okay how much and so on. In that case, we don't have to define so much. Do you are you guys able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like need to divide means need to protect also. Need to protect my division also. No, my division means my plot, my self, my separate self. No, we are trying to be free from the separate self, but unknowingly we are trying to protect it also. No? Protect it from what? We are trying to protect our individual separate self from the many other separate self that we experience exist in the world. No? Yes or no? But they all are the part of the experience, not that they are independently true or false. There is another possibility of experiencing the same truth from the space of being, where I don't exist as a separate self. And in relation, others are not there also. Others are also not there. So it's not that I will lose my separate, this is the fear of losing the separate self. When we are in the separate self state, that I will lose the separate self means I will lose the power of doing things and protecting myself, and everybody still will have those powers and can do anything to me. No? I hope that it will make any sense. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
One key I want to share, and I have tried my best to share that in so many different occasions, that understand the importance of undividedness within yourself first. Understand the importance of undividedness within yourself first. What is undividedness in this simplicity? Simply you can understand. Like let us test whether I am undivided towards something, whether I am divided towards something or not. As simple as this. The more we can refine and come to the clarity that no, I am not divided towards anything. I am like whole of myself saying either yes or no to something, even in the daily life and slowly like this. Then what is happening is that we are coming back out of that state in which we live as a separate individual self into our natural state. So our natural true state is undivided state. Undivided is also undefined actually, Nishant. it can be experienced and known deeply, or knowing of it happens, not that it can be defined. No? And as long as we are attracted or attached to the need to define or need to remain as a separate self, that model, we will not like it so much. We will taste the water of this pool of oneness, of the being of life, but we will not stay here. But at some point we will like to stay here now. But on the gate it is written, leave your separate self here, not your mind. Leave your separate self here, not your mind. Leave your separate self on the gate. Separate self being your costume in this case. Who lives in this costume? In the same water. Water meets water. No? There is no process of merging here now. There is no process of merging. There is only process of taking off, that cloth, like leaving it on the gate. No? So that's why many times we may feel that I'm feeling very peaceful and silent right now, and then we don't feel like going deeper than that, because we will have to leave one more layer of cloth here. That's why we choose to just stay here. No? Because, beloved, you can enter into the core, into the source of life within yourself, but you will have to leave every time. At every level, you will have to leave one layer of your cloth, your sense of form, no? Also. So we are good, no?
It's very good, beloved. Can I just say something? I really don't know much poetry in any language, yeah. But I remember your words, Kabir's poetry, and it was something like Hamsa Nave Mansarovar, Talatalaiya me kyo dole. It was very beautiful, yeah.
So this Mansarovar, in this case, Kabir says that Hansa payo Mansarovar tal talai. Hansa nayo Mansarovar tal talaiya kyon dole. Meaning when the swan of the soul has taken a bath in the pure water of the self, then why it would search for ponds and puddles all around, no? So ponds and puddles are not something opposite of the Mansarovar. They are a different model in which they happen or they are experienced. Not that there are something somewhere, like there is something dirty water somewhere. No, there is no dirty water anywhere in this manifestation created by the Lord. But it is the way we look at it. It is the place from where we experience it. And it is so difficult, Nissan, to accept that I am the one who is creating the experience of the world and the people, and myself being separate from all of them. It is impossible to believe that, but it is possible to come to the place of truth from where we can know that it is true. I am the creator of my life in which I experience. If I stop creating, I will experience that which is the dream of Brahma, no? Dream of God manifested as it is. No? Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deva, you want to talk?
Hello, Rajee.
Hello, Deva.
Namaste. I want to say, first of all, this satsang from the beginning till so far has been a blessing, actually, because when I sat for satsang, I was in a desperate situation to knowing the fact that how does not sufficient value is being given to the truth, and how does one, like, what is it that will make one realize, or me realize, that this is the most valuable, uh, this is the most valuable one can have ever. And as you began the guiding, and I could connect, and I could just let go and experience truth as you were guiding us through. And I literally broke down in tears, saying that how can one not, how can one, I mean, I could see that how living in the world of objects and desires, and the way of the habitual ways, how hellish that state can be, and how in an instance I just realized the value of what you are sharing. And I was like, you mentioned this, that truth reveals itself. And at that time I only felt that, you know, this is what I want. I want the revelation of the truth in this soul, in this body mind, in this life. So, I mean, I'm very grateful to you for this satsang. It's helped me so much, because somewhere along the line I just lost way. And I'm very grateful for this, for sharing and showing how valuable this is and how simple it is to live. Thank you so much, Rajee.
Thank you. Very, very, very nice. I felt feeling very touched by what you are sharing. Thank you, beloved. As I felt in the beginning also, that this sharing is like a rain, a answer to the thirst we have, no, for truth. Let's not take it so personally that, you know, we are so separate from this rain. But let us be grateful, as you are, no? That thank you. Let's be more in silence when enjoying this rain truth. Silence means not so much like individuals, you know, like person or like this, but more concerned about drinking and enjoying it, no? And realizing and living it. Later on we can define who did what, who gave what to whom. Later on maybe we can keep the account of it. So very, very good, thank you. One thing I just want to share, Diva, about you said that it is like hellish to live in the objective reality. I felt that time something I want to share with you. There was a time in our life when we enjoyed that objective life so much. No? Maybe not all of us, but at some little bit we have enjoyed that. No? So when we wanted to enjoy the objective life and were able to enjoy, that was heaven. No? But when we want to enjoy the life beyond life of subjectivity, beyond the objective experiencing, and now we are not able to live that, and we kind of find ourselves bound to living the objectivity, then this living of objective lifestyle looks like hell. Not that it is hell in itself. For some other it is heaven. No? Just for you it is not. No? Right? It is different states, different times for different souls. What is what is what is more what they are more interested in. Thank you. Very, very nice. No? Thank you. So good, good. Is there anyone else want to talk to me? Otherwise, we will end this meeting soon now. Yeah, Milaji, you want to talk?
I don't want to give you opportunity to leave us so early.
Thank you for your love, beloved.
uh, yeah, but I would love to say something. That it was a very beautiful walk, and the feeling was like we were doing window shopping, where you were showing me very clearly what is what. And I was feeling very clearly that, yeah, it's true. Very beautiful. Thank you very much for this. Thank you for today's meeting.
Thank you.
It's really very special.
Thank you, beloved. It has happened before also in the past, our human past also, and it has happened again today that there is a readiness in the being to listen and wake up. Then some being speaks also. No? It's so connected somehow. It's just so connected. You know. Like both are ready in a way or something like this, you know. That it just happens. Fundamentally, there are only two ways through which um, false is exposed and truth is revealed. No? One is the rooted in consciousness, meaning being more conscious. No? Seeing more clearly, being more conscious, seeing more clearly. No? That what is false is false. You know, seeing false as the false. That is seeing more clearly. No? Being more conscious. No? Another is silence, living the silence. The sense that I have become somebody is resolved here. Like it just vanishes, somehow disappears. The truth of who you are is revealed naturally to yourself, to you know. Like you internally know, I am truth. You cannot say to anybody, but you have clear confidence now that this, I am this truth. That the evidence of the authenticity of the truth is within the living of it. Not that we need to find some evidence somewhere else. No. So this is why silent sitting, just sitting, what I call, just what we did today, satsang, just more living in silence. When the sense of doer is too strong, meaning the the confidence in the energies is very strong, and the identification of the self that we are is very strong also. That time, doing is the way, and being more conscious is the direction. Through that, the sense of doer is reduced. Through that, the identification thins away also. With that solidness of the doer becomes thin, and as that thing becomes thin with which we are identified, our attachment or identification also becomes thin, no? Like this. But at some point, again, we will have to come back to silence. After all, we all will have to come back to silence and realize the truth. No? Because truth is realized when there is nobody else here, just you. You know? That is beyond mind. That is no mind state when there is nobody else here. You know, being, that's the experience or the field of being, no? When there is nobody else here. Like, I am, but there is no need to define or divide. You know, the relax, the ease, the joy, the bliss, the beauty of the being, no? And you are surprised that how simple was this truth to know. But remember, you have not known the truth yet. You have only tasted it. The knowing of the truth includes knowing of what it is not also. Because what is not true, what it is, by the way, we will know the truth of what is not true also, the shadow. Allow yourself. Don't be in a hurry to conclude. You are not going anywhere. You are timelessly here only. So there is no hurry. So, and when you are in bliss, in the beauty, in the joy, in the silence of yourself, what hurry you can be? You can be in, no? So don't be in a hurry. It's the habit of the mind to conclude. Even if little bit, know that truth which is true, even if it cannot be defined, in comparison to knowing a lot which can be defined, but we are not certain whether it is true or not. You know? You know what I mean? Very, very nice. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you very, very much that during this window shopping, you very clearly show me that the only things that I need is to hold your hand and walk with you. Thank you.
It's my joy also to walk with you, beloved. The truth is like little bit, no, little bit we can use this concept. Truth is little bit like health. You know, truth is little bit like health, like holistic health. No, we cannot catch it somewhere in the system that okay, here is the health part of my body mind. No, but we sense. You know, we sense somehow. You know, isn't it? Like we clearly know, or at least we clearly know that when we are not healthy, when we don't have health, we know that, no? Truth is like this. When you are in truth of who you are, you know somehow, in some way. Nobody else has to tell you. And when you are not also, you are able to sense. Ultimately, truth being coming back home is like the ultimate health. No, in Hindi we call swasthya. Swasthya is the word used for being for being healthy. No, healthy is like translated in Hindi as swasthya. Somebody who is healthy is swasthya. Swa is the self. Ist means to be stable in the self. No, to be stable in the self, to be established in the self, no, is the supreme health. No, supreme health. From where life comes to all the bodies and all the chakra, all of our body, mind, and everything. No? So our samadhi, our true state, is not really a dead state. It is the place from where all the celebration is coming out. No? Let us learn to enjoy the silence of our being. It will remove the confusions which have happened to us. Let us come to the joy, to the ease of being ourselves. Ease of being means ease of being ourselves. Like you are comfortable in being yourself. That's what is the ease of being. Let us start living the joy that I am, that I exist. Joy of being means joy that I am. And we will not need anything from anything. And yet everything is still there. The body, mind, the consciousness is there. And it is a beautiful play then, no? When winning and losing does not mean differently to us, then only if we play, no? And then it becomes like this, really. So answer is there. Answer is always there. No? We think that I'm maybe asking the wrong questions, that's why I'm not getting the answer. No. Because we are asking the question, that's why we are not getting the answer. Don't ask the question. Just sit quietly in yourself. And the answer is here. And the answer is so beautiful, so deep, deep contentment which we have never felt anywhere. Like, if you don't feel like dancing out of joy deeply, like forever, for eternity I want to dance now out of joy, that feeling comes. Such a deep, deep contentment. Because the being of life is meeting yourself here. Like there is no filter. You have been meeting yourself before also, but with filters all the time. the filter of the experience of the other person, other form, your intelligence, your consciousness, your course, everything. Now there is nobody else. You are experiencing what you want to experience, absolutely without any filters or anything in between. This is Mahasukh, no? Greatest happiness when you are meeting yourself. Would you like to go out now? It is difficult to stay in myself. Will you feel like that? No, you will not. These things are just not there anymore. You will be like the example I gave, no? When our guests were eating from the plate silently, just everybody eating, not looking at each other, not feeling embarrassed or anything, just eating, eating, eating. And then afterward, we will think that okay, what we did, and whether the method of eating was correct or not, of formal enough or not. No? Thank you. I think it's very good time now. I very deeply felt this meeting with all of you, like we connected and we lived the truth together, beloved. And it is for all of us, it is because of all of us that it happened like this. Let us rejoice and let us continue living this truth after this meeting also, no? As much as we feel, no? Thank you for joining today.